What is up, LudyBros Army? It is your boy, Big Bro Lamar Ludy, sitting down to discuss the trade between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Houston Rockets. But before we get too deep into the video, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit a like on this video. Leave a comment down below so that we can go ahead and get some NBA discussions going. I want to go ahead and keep talking to you guys. I've been having a lot of fun with the comments on some of the other videos on this channel. We're really getting the content revved up here as we're starting to sprint towards the end of this season that has just been so crazy. All right, well, let's go ahead and let's look at this trade between the Bucks and the Rockets, which has PJ Tucker as the main piece coming over to the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks are sending guard DJ Augustine and forward DJ Wilson to the Rockets for Tucker and forward Rodions Courage, sources are saying. So this is coming from Adrian Wojnarowski over on ESPN. I'll go ahead and have the link to this article down in the description. But Tucker is the key piece to this trade for the Bucks, who are determined to add his defensive grit and playoff experience to their playoff push. Tucker is a good player. I've always liked PJ Tucker. He's an undersized man who was out there putting in work for the Houston Rockets when they had James Harden and playing in that Mike D'Antoni offense. And he did really well. He was a 3-and-D type of guy, but he also brought a sense of toughness and real integrity to the position that he had to play for that team. Getting out there and matching up night in and night out with bigger and, maybe stronger guys on opposing teams. I mean, we saw that in the playoffs last year. The Rockets were just overmatched by the Lakers, which ended up causing this, not to work out. But Tucker was out there putting in work for the Houston Rockets. Now let's go ahead. We'll check out one more item here in the article that said Tucker has been an essential role player during his 3.5-year tenure with the Rockets, contributing significantly more than his averages of 6.5 points and 5.8 rebounds per game indicate. This is definitely true. So when we take a closer look at his per game stats, we're going to see that all this is still, it's holding up where he's at. So in 4 seasons with the Houston Rockets, we can see here, there's those numbers of 6.5 points, 5.8 rebounds, but I want to focus in on these 1.2 steals per game. The guy is strong on the defensive end. He plays very well, matched up against bigger guys, but he can also move his feet out on the perimeter, and that's going to be something for the Bucks going forward when they have to match up with Kyrie or James Harden. Not saying that he's going to be able to guard those guys, but at least be able to move his feet and try to stay in front of them so that to keep their defensive rotations strong in Milwaukee. I think that's going to be something to really look at. And as far as him being a 3-and-D guy, let's check his 3-point percentage. He shot 36%. 1.5 threes attempted, or 4 threes attempted, 1.5 made. So like you said, you might as well round up 2 because you're not making 1.5 shots in the NBA. So, going almost about 2 for 4 is pretty good. And I mean, you're going to be stretching the floor playing alongside Giannis. That's the key. When you play along these guys who are big-time scorers in the NBA and you're able to spot up and knock down a shot with regularity, you should be able to find a role. And he has done that. PJ Tucker has definitely done that in the NBA. So now that we've taken a look at Tucker, let's check out the Bucks and see how he's going to fit in on their rotation. The Bucks, coached by Mike Budenholzer, they're giving up DJ Augustine and DJ Wilson to bring in PJ Tucker. A lot of initials here going back and forth. But my question is, playing alongside Giannis and Chris Middleton, I think he's definitely going to fit in standing in that corner to shoot the 3. My thing is this, is he going to be getting those crunch time minutes? You're bringing him over for his playoff experience. You're bringing him over for his toughness. Is he going to get the crunch time minutes? So would the lineup be something like this? Giannis, Middleton, Drew Holiday, Lopez, and PJ Tucker? Those minutes were being split, among guys, Dante DiVincio and Pat Connaughton. They were splitting some time. Bobby Portis has been playing well lately. So now, is his role going to change a little bit? But I definitely think that by picking up PJ, he's coming over, in my opinion, he's coming over to play those crunch time minutes. And the question is, are the Bucks now good enough to be placed ahead of the Philadelphia 76ers or the Brooklyn Nets? Your best 2 players are Giannis and Chris Middleton. That's your Batman, that's your Robin. Your supporting cast is being bolstered by PJ Tucker. But is it enough? Let's go ahead and check out the standings. They just put a beating on the Sixers, but the Sixers don't have Joel Embiid, so I only take that game, you know, as far as that. They didn't have Joel Embiid, who's an MVP player this season. The Nets are on a roll, 9-1 in their last 10. They're on a 6-game winning streak. We've got some teams behind the Bucks trying to make a little bit of move. They're not going to catch them, but we've got some teams behind them. The Heat, the Hawks are both playing really well right now. Hawks on a 7-game winning streak. And then we've got that bottom half of the Eastern Conference with the Hornets, Knicks, and Celtics now, with the Bulls and Pacers trying to, well, and the Raptors, trying to figure out how things are going to pan out at the bottom. So as of right now, the first round matchup could potentially be the Bucks and the Hornets. I think that's pretty exciting. I think that would be pretty exciting because the Hornets have been playing pretty good basketball. With LaMelo Ball kind of igniting that franchise, and he's got them playing free. That would be, you know, an exciting first round matchup, but I think the Bucks would win that. And then they'd be moving on to the next round. Now, if these standings held true, we would see the Nets and the Bucks in the second round. That's where everything comes into play, because that's what I've been saying about Giannis. As far as this team improving with PJ Tucker, yes, they did improve, but the pressure's on Giannis. He was the MVP last year. He was the Defensive Player of the Year last year. He has got to pick up his game. He has got to have some sort of outside ability to make things work for himself. When other teams wall up on the defensive end, he's got to be able to hit some shots. I mean, even his free throws, he's shooting 67% from the free throw line. 10 attempts per game, that's a lot of attempts. He's getting to the line, he's getting fouled. He has got to convert that. He has got to convert those free throws, so that way other teams, you know, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. If they foul him, he goes to the line, he can knock down those buckets. It puts even more pressure on opposing defenses, because right now it seems like the prescription for beating Giannis is all you got to do is wall up that middle, and dare the Bucks to beat you from the outside. Now, adding in PJ Tucker does help. Because he's an assassin from that corner three. We've seen that. But I don't know. You have to get past the Nets in the second round. If this ends up being the matchup, you've got the Nets in the second round. KD should be healthy by then. Blake Griffin should be integrated by then. And then you've already got the two monsters of Harden and Kyrie. I don't think you're going to get past that. That would be another second round exit for the Bucks 2 years in a row. And, you know, Giannis as the reigning MVP, that's not a good look. So what do you think? What do you think of the Bucks? What do you think of the addition of PJ Tucker? Do you think it's enough to put them over the 76ers or the Nets? In my opinion, it's not. I don't think it is enough to get over on the Nets, and I don't think it's enough to get over on the Sixers. Joel Embiid is too much of a monster in the middle, and the way that the Sixers have been playing, I think we're on a collision course between the Sixers and the Nets in the Eastern Conference Finals if all things continue the way that they are. But I want to hear what you guys have to say. Get down in the comments below. Let's get some discussion going. Let me know what you think about the addition of PJ Tucker and if that's enough for the Bucks to be the cream of the crop in the Eastern Conference. All right, well, thanks for tuning into this video, and I'll see you guys next time.